Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, just a comment on the Nike story. I think my observation is it looked like the reason why they were able to execute that way is because they had a better handle about what their core was and how they defined their core. Because if they defined their core as we are a shoemaker, they would have continued on that path of saying, okay, we're making running shoes, now we're making soccer shoes, and now we're going to be making basketball shoes. They didn't do that, right? They basically said, we're focusing on these shoes, and our core is really to get people to do the sport. So now we move to apparel, now we move to equipment, and that becomes a repeatable process, right? So I think it starts with the core. I think it was a good explanation of, if you define your core correctly, then you'll have the right path to expand. Did I take that away correctly?
Yeah, they certainly had a broader vision of the core.
It seems like we had
What's interesting to me about that example, though, is that, yes, if they had defined themselves as a shoe manufacturer only, they would have headed down that one axis. But they had that broader definition. But they recognized that shoe manufacturing was their entry point, to each of those, and that was core to where they needed to start in each of those markets. Yeah.
For your customer validation approach, do you recommend just kind of like reiterating the abstract new product offering to the customer, or do you suggest a more concrete pilot plant program with the new product and service?
That is a great question. I think it really, it often depends on some of the risks around conducting a pilot and the timing around that, and how easy it is to test using market research methodology versus having to have it in somebody's hands and see whether it catches on. That's a big question. I mean, I am a big fan of spending what I consider small money on quantitative research up front that is trade-off research to get at whether customers will really choose something, and I think you can often come up with phrasings or representations that are accurate, but there are products or services that aren't well suited to that. And in those cases, you might have to do a more qualitative approach for acceptance or pilots.